Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Today we are looking at one of the largest bags that I actually own. And as you've seen from the thumbnail, this is the Helikon-Tex Alien Bag. Now, as far as bags are concerned, bag's quite a generic term that can be used for so many different things. This is a hold-all, this is a kit bag, this is just freaking massive. Now, as we usually do, we'll get into it. I'll turn the camera around, but before I do, I thought it'd be useful to point out at this point, you know, it does have these straps as far as the ways in which you can carry this, because you can put a lot of weight into this. It does have these straps, and these are completely, not really removable, but what you can do is if you want to undo these, there's clips here at the bottom, and then you can kind of fold it into the bag so that they will come off. I've got this set up for my kind of airsoft setup, and this is predominantly how I've been using it, but that's not to say that you have to use it for that. It's part of their kind of range stroke law enforcement line. However, again, with it just being a large hold-all, you can pretty much use this however you choose to use it. But yeah, this is, for me, this is the easiest way to carry it. Okay, yeah, so cool. Let's turn the camera around and take a closer look. Now, before we get into it, materials wise, everything that you'd expect from Helikon-Tex. This is a 500D Cordura, all the webbing, super tough webbing, and there's a mix on here. There's this kind of 50mm webbing, there's some 25mm webbing. The webbing that goes across here has some stays on here, so if you need to pull in your excess, all good. Woojin buckles, YKK zips. There is some hook and loop here on the side. Just trying to think if there's anything more on here. I think that's kind of it as far as all of your different hardware is concerned. Now, as far as the size, I'll leave the exact measurements down here at the bottom, but this is a 122 litre bag. Now, on the international Lizzo scale, you can fit 0.75 Lizzos in here, which is pretty freaking big. So when you consider the amount that you can put into here, as I mentioned, I've got my full kind of airsoft setup in here, but I could probably fit even more into this. Hopefully, as you can see here, there's still plenty of room for me to be able to put stuff in here. Now, going through the outside, on this side here, we do have some PALS webbing slots, and this is where you've got that hook and loop. On the opposite side, if I swing this round, you do have your more traditional kind of PALS webbing on here. These are more like kind of a daisy chain kind of thing, so if you just want to strap something to the outside, then you can do. With there just being one row of the PALS webbing, it's not really something that you can put stuff in that's going to stop it from flapping around, but you know, the option's there should you need it. Now, the vast majority of what's in here is all within this main compartment. However, there are some pockets on the outside. Now, these two pockets here, as you're looking at these, they are exactly the same two pockets here on this side. So we'll have a look at these, but they are the same here. But you have some slip pockets. So let's say you're at the range, you're out and about. Where are my car keys? Here's my car keys. That took a while to find, but I can drop my car keys in there and probably forget they're in there until I need to go to my car, so I'll take those out. But they're reasonably large. I can fit in, again, I can fit a beanie in there with no issues, apart from I'm trying to do this on camera, which is why you always have issues. But yes, so you have 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now, what I would say is you need to put stuff in here. So if you are using this maybe as a range bag or something, or you've gone to a friend's and maybe you've got certain things tuck out and you want to put them in here, I'd say that's really what it's for. If you're traveling with these it's just elastic here at the top, so if you put anything in here and you are doing some traveling, maybe you're flying on a plane or something, it's just going to fall out. So just use these pockets for easy access stuff that you just want to put stuff in and out of. There are 2 additional pockets on the outside, which are here on the end. And again, so the one that you see here on this end is exactly the same as the one that you see here on this end. There's a big grab handle here. Again, whatever you see here, there's an identical one on this end. But inside this pocket, again, just another large pocket. So this whole end here, it goes all the way down this side, all the way down that side, and then all the way, oh no, it's not all the way to the bottom because you've got this grab handle here, sorry. So where this grab handle is, this is bar tacked into the actual bag itself, so it stops just before you get to there. Now the reason that I've shown you this end is because you do also get a fully removable, if you don't want to keep this on here, you do have a removable shoulder strap. To do this though, what you have to do is you have to open this pocket, pull this buckle out, and then zip your zips to either side of it. And then exactly the same on this side, you've got a padded strap here so that you can use this. Personally, I prefer to use the shoulder straps that we looked at earlier, but to make sure that I've always got that for just in case kind of moments, I keep it attached here in this end to make sure that it's stowed away, but it's always with the bag should I need it. As I mentioned, exactly the same pocket on this end. There's that big zip into there, and then you've got your the other buckle for the other side. Buckles on here, if I've not already mentioned, these are Woojin buckles. Never had any issues with Woojin buckles. Yeah, they're very nice buckles. Though I forgot to mention, as far as colours are concerned, it's available in several colours. There's a few flat colours, and I believe it's also available in multicam as well. Now getting into the main compartment, here is another way in which this can be carried. Similar to how you get with a lot of holdalls, it's a double strap, so you have one this side and one that side, and then in the middle there is something so that it just doesn't wear on your hands as much. This is a good size. I have medium to large size hands, and there's still a good 1.5 inches on each side. To undo it, you know, just pull it apart, flip it open, and then you're good. Now on either side, on the top and the bottom, you also have some compression straps. The compression straps do a very good job of holding all of your gear in place. Now I will say I probably could have done these up a little bit tighter. But if you're going to use it in the kind of the backpack setup, how I was carrying it, you just saw, if you batten these down a little bit tighter, then it'll stop all of the stuff moving down to the bottom of the bag, which it has done with this. I've just had to jostle that kind of to get that back again. But yeah, it does a very good job of making sure that everything is held in place. 2 snap buckles on here, boop, open those up, and then here, actually let's turn this around because I want you to get the good opening on this. Not that there's a bad opening, of course. So you have this flap here on the top. Now you have to lift this open, and this will give you access to the zips. Hopefully you'll see on here, rather than it just being a hold-all where you have that one zip that goes across, or like with the North Face ones, you have that zip that kind of comes around like that. Instead you have this cross pattern here. Now this gives you 4 individual zips to open. Some of you are like, oh, 4 zips, oh that's way too much, oh what am I gonna do, that's too long opening zips, Randy. Might not be the bag for you, bruv. You know, it's just 4 zips, it's fine. But what it does mean is, if you've got something here in this end, let's say for example I just want to be able to get out my helmet, then I only need to open this zip on this end, then I can zip this back up, and you know, Bob's your uncle, you've got out just what you needed. It's an advantage of this setup. I don't know if they did it purposely. I think what they'd actually got is they'd got the idea of this alien bag and how it's going to open. But one of the kind of additional advantages is that if you know that there's something that's down this side, then you can reach in and you can get out what it is that's down this side. You can then close it back up again, and it's a lot easier to be able to get into it like that. Now that's one of the kind of the advantages of this, but if I open all 4 of these zips, then you can splay this open, and you'll see hopefully why this is called the alien bag, because it opens up similar to those facehugger aliens in the Alien films. This all just flops open, and then you've got everything that you want to possibly get out of your bag. Now, as I mentioned, I've got a full kind of setup in here. So I've got my buffalo anorak, I've got my gun belt, I've got a ghillie suit, again just in case I need it, schmog, gloves, I've got pew pew, which I just need to put on one side for a second, ammo, I've got some extra little bits for plinking if I want to, I've got my plate carrier in here, I've got first aid kit. I've got one of these tote bags. If you ever go to these events where you find them giving out tote bags and they've got all of their kind of marketing stuff in them, grab one of these tote bags. They lie perfectly flat, so if you want to put extra stuff into them or you've got like dirty gear, chuck it in one of these tote bags. They're awesome for that sort of stuff. Got my rifle tools, they're there. Again, some more ammo, some iPro. And it's all just in here. It's amazing how much you can fit into this in a couple of weird little dirty bags. Now, one of the other things that you can do with this is, so these zips, at this moment, I've just pulled the zips down so that they sit in the corner like this. But it does fully zip all the way down into each of the corners. So this is probably really messing my white balance up on my camera right now. But you can completely splay this open. So if you didn't want to take all of your kit out like I've just done and it's on the dirty floor, then you can still keep it in here and be able to get to your stuff. Should you need to as well, you can also lie on this. Again, should you need to. Now, as far as internal storage is concerned, there are a few additional pockets in here. So here on this end, there is a mesh pocket that you can zip and get into. Same on this side, you have another mesh pocket, which again you can zip and get into. And then on this side, similar size to these, because that's kind of 16 by 9 kind of size, you have similar pockets here and here. So this one at the moment, this is where I've got like a couple of balaclavas, I've got some extra iPro in there, whereas on this side I've got some gloves, so some extra gloves in there which I am testing out at the moment, which are also really nice. But just the fact that you can splay this out like this so that you can see everything, rather than fishing around to try and find things, you can just open it up, get a lay of the land, find what it is that you need, and then you can close it up. Now hopefully you've seen these cornered bits, these have like a gusset in there just to make sure that nothing falls out. The last little bit to show in here is that there is a frame sheet, or a padded frame sheet in here. I'm not going to take it fully out because it's a pain in the arse to get back in again, but should you want to reduce your size a little bit, then you can do. Personally, I'd say keep that in there just for the instance if maybe you did need to lie down on this, or if you're putting all of your stuff down on uneven floor and you're concerned about stuff kind of coming through, then you can keep that in there as well. It's awesome. The amount of space that I've got in here. I've got several different hold-alls, and this is by far the largest. But the way in which this zips, now to help as well, so when you're zipping this up, because of the strange size of it, or how they would zip up, you have pulls here on each corner, so you can hold on to this pull and then just pull each of the zips. You do have to just be a little bit careful of this gusset. If you make sure that it's out of the way, push it in just a little bit, then you can have this open again. Then of course you can put all of your gear back in. And then once it's all in, pull your flaps up, that's what she said, zip them all in. So this bit then goes back over again just to make sure, so what that does is it keeps all of those zips together in the middle. If you were traveling with this, so these pulls, they don't have those little eyelets on them, but they do have these little pulls on them, so if you wanted to, you could probably pass a padlock through those just to make sure that it stays a little bit secure. Close that up, then put on your compression straps, yeah, then you're all good to go. 120 litres and a full day's worth of pew pew gear all together in one bag. Absolutely amazing. So there you have it, the alien bag from Helikon-Tex. Now I'm going to put this back on my back again so I can just hold this whilst, yeah, going through the ending. What do I think about this? I really do like it. As far as hold-alls are concerned, I don't think there's a lot of kind of people doing hold-alls in different ways. I like how this does kind of splay out. It reminds me, I've got an old bag from DMM, the Welsh Climbing Company. So you kind of pull it out and then you splay it out on the floor, and then it all opens out so that you've got all of your climbing kit on there and you can kind of organise stuff. So it really does remind me of that, and the fact that, you know, you can kind of open it all out, get to the bits that you want, but because it's also got those zips that open in kind of different fashions to zips would normally do, it gives you a little bit easier access into other sections of the bag. Whereas maybe something like a normal hold-all that just has that zip that goes across, then you've got to kind of open it out. Or the other one that I'm thinking of, I still have one actually, is one of the North Face, you know, those big, is it the Summit bags? With that you have to zip it all the way around and then it clamshells open. But again, with this you can just open kind of one of those sectors, one of those zip panels, and get easy access to stuff. And plus the fact that it's 122 litres, I can get everything in here. This is my full kind of setup for a day airsofting. If I wanted to go away, see friends, I could take all of my stuff in here. I could probably put Mrs. Moorlander's and my two daughters' stuff in here as well. It's that large. Yeah, very impressed. And of course, it goes without saying, all of the usual build quality that you expect from Helikon-Tex and those little kind of touches in there. Yes, highly recommended, definitely highly recommended. Now I left a note at the beginning of this, so this was actually sent to me from Military First. I have worked with Military First for 5 or 6 years now. They're an awesome online retailer here in the UK, whether it's military, whether it's outdoor, whether it's everyday kind of stuff. They really have got everything for you, with all of the manufacturers from the UK, from Europe and around the world as well. Yeah, they've probably got something for whatever it is that you're after. So yes, a huge shout out and thank you to the team at Military First. Of course, I'll leave those links in here so that you can see more from their website. I'll also leave the Helikon-Tex details on here so that you can see more about the backpack, the alien bag, just in case. I don't think there's anything that I've not touched on here. I think I went pretty deep dive with this. I'll leave some of my social media links below so that you can see more from me here on Moorlander EDC, and my sister channel where I look at more, my sister channel's Moorlander Tactical, where a lot of the kit that I've got in here, I have made some content on that, so if you're after that sort of stuff, I'll leave those links as well. And whether you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander and stay EDC. Okay, now before we get into the actual bag itself, as far as materials are concerned, everything that you expect from Helikon-Tex. Is that too much of a weird angle, me? I think that's too much of a weird angle. Let's 122 litres. On the international vegan scale, you can fit a family of 6 vegans in here. Now, of course, vegans, due to them being miserable and malnutrition, they're a lot smaller than regular humans. But yeah, international vegan scale, 6 vegans in here. That's a lot to carry should you need to. And it just kind of shows if you have got that space that you can overfill. Yeah. Looking good there, Mr. Moorlander, looking Good, yeah. 20 litres, that is a lot. On the European ex-boyfriend scale, I can fit 3 ex-boyfriends in here. Not my ex-boyfriends, my daughter's ex-boyfriends. So should I need to take them somewhere to dispose of them, then that's 3 ex-boyfriends that I can fit, which is enough. Hopefully my daughter won't ever get to that point, but it's enough. You can over... So there you have it. The alien bag from the alien bag from Helikon-Tex is a lot. I mean, I suppose it's all kind of comparable. If you were to maybe compare it to what Princess Storm has had in backhanders from, you know, cabinet members and, you know, all that other stuff, it really isn't that much. But as far as I'm concerned, in my humble opinion, 120 litres is not to be scoffed at. Joe Biden could fit an entire garage full of classified documents in here, and his Corvette if he wanted to. There's a lot, and I mean a lot, that you can put in 122 litres. Did I say 120? I meant 122 litres. Forgot where I was going with that one a little bit at the end. I don't know. Hope you're well, by the way. Honestly, this weighs a ton. Hope you're well, by the way. I think this is coming out on the Sunday. Again, I'm filming a few different pieces of content today, so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure this is coming out on the Sunday. Hope you're well. Hope you all had an awesome Sunday, family meal, kind of Sunday lunch, all the usual stuff with the trimmings. And yes, have an awesome week ahead. See you soon.